Welcome back to Anno 1800. In the past year, I've already covered a lot of different stamps. I've made stamps for all of the production in the old world, all of the cities, from farmers to investors, all of the production in the new world, also for cities in the new world. Then last week, I also showed you many stamps in the Arctic for your cities, for your productions. Don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to see it. But we didn't cover the plateau. I promised to cover the plateau with you, and so that's what we're gonna do. We are back in the save file from my expert campaign, expert difficulty campaign. Don't hesitate to check in the video description below also if you missed this one, because I went really from the beginning of the game to the end. We have done everything, right? We have all of the productions, we have the Skyline Tower, we have level 5 skyscrapers, we have completely finished also Manor Lords over here, we have a huge town in the new world, right? So don't hesitate to check this one. But yeah, we're using this one because in this series, I had started to do the Arctic where we had over here a very basic town, right? We have a very basic town, we have one gas mine, but it is not perfect. First of all, there is many other gas mines, even on this one plateau, but also on the other plateaus. There's 4 plateaus in the Arctic. And there is also a big thing, which is you can clip some of these. Now, if you don't know what clipping is, I have a whole video explaining it, but to make it very simple is over here, if I see my gas mine, right, I can put an Arctic lodge. This is basically a trade union, right? I can put one Arctic lodge over here, and then I can put some items into it, and this is going to support this gas mine. Now, clipping is when you're able to put 2 of these Arctic lodges or 2 of those trade union onto the same Arctic gas mine. Basically, you're covering 50% of it with one, 50% of it with the other one, and therefore, instead of putting 1 item or 3 items, you can put 6 items or 2 of the same one. And it's really good for those Arctic gas mine, but because there are actually only 2 items that help them. And so if I can put double these, this is really helpful in particular because, this is productivity plus 40%. So you're increasing quite a lot of the productivity when you're able to clip. So this is why I've created a couple of stamps to help you do this. So let's actually, delete this. And I think we may have to also delete that city for now, for just a couple of minutes. We can rebuild it in the future so that I don't have any roads or anything like this in the way of my stamps. So here it is. We're going to take Plateau West. This is this one, right? We're on the west. So we have these stamps where you can see all of the mines are already placed. So you just need to find, a line with the mine depots, and you'll be able to place everything. Oh no, there's a road over here. Sorry about that. I missed it. Delete all of those roads. So yes, we take these 1 stamps and we can place everything at once. Now the only problem is, I don't know why. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you know why. But some of these fields, some of these gas fields, are not being built. And it's even if I have all of the resources, I don't know, for some reason they're not being built with the stamp. But the important thing is that it's placing all of these Arctic gas mines exactly where you need them to be able to clip them. So for example, let's look at this one here, which will cover, this gas field, while this one will cover those 2 ones because it's too far to cover this one. So this gas mine is going to be clipped with this Arctic launch there and that one. Both of these will support. And on top of this, this Arctic launch is going to support that gas mine. Similarly, if you look over here, this gas mine is covered by this Arctic launch and that one. So it's clipped and it's going to do those 2 fields. Versus this gas mine over here is going to do those 2 and has only 1 Arctic launch. Similarly over here, right, we have those 2 Arctic launches covering it for those 2 gas mine, and then this one is just, and then here is just a simple one. Now I didn't invent this. This has been available on the wiki for many years in terms of this picture that show you exactly where to place them to be clipped, but as far as I know, there was no stamp that was available to do it, so that's why I created the stamps. So now you can place the stamp 1 time and be done. On the complete opposite, on the east, 1 stamp was not enough, so we have 4A and 4B, but again, they're actually very easy to place because you just need to follow where the gas fields are, right? So you can see it's over here, basically. And once again, many have been placed, but some of them not placed. I have no clue why. What's really good with this one is you have an amazing coverage. For example, this one Arctic gas mine with 4 depots is being clipped over here. This one there has 1, so it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. This one over here is completely clipped, right, for 2 fields. And then we have 4B over here, which is also just 1 gas mine covering all 3 fields and perfectly clipped. Then we have 3A and 3B for the middle on the east, also taking 2. 3A is covering over here, right, where we have this mine there with those 2 that is clipped, and then we have this mine that only has 1. 3B to cover the rest over here. So again, just place it on the fields and you should be totally fine. Perfect. Here it is. Where we have this one. Now you have this mine here with those 2 that is clipped with those 2. Then you have this mine here that is also clipped. This one that is also clipped, and it's only this one that's not clipped, but still covered. So all of the mines are covered, they're all covered, but only some of them are clipped, right? It's impossible to clip every single one. And then last but not least over here, you have the 2A plateau. So again, not that hard, you place it over the field. But with this one, I went even further. I created the perfect stamp so that you have exactly what you need to produce the maximum, right? You can see this is the exact same stamp. That's what's happening right now, which has all of the mines perfectly clipped, but also has the right number of residences. It has the heater, it has the post office and the canteen. It even has quite a lot of those ranger stations because those mines can explode. So it's good to have quite a bit of ranger station. And you may actually recognize that this is actually the layout of these technicians, right? The only thing is it's slightly smaller because we don't really have the space, and also because we don't need to. This is the amount that you need, we don't need more workforce to make all of those mines work. So don't hesitate to do, the same over here on the other plateaus, right? You find a place where there's quite a bit of space. In this one, this is actually the hardest one. I would suggest to do it over here. This one is actually not that hard. You'll probably do it in the middle over here. And last but not least, this one that we had started with, again, there is quite a bit of space. So, you will do exactly the same. You put this something like this, right? And that will be enough. You will have enough houses. Then you just need to send the resources to them, right? So you need to send, for example, these things like pemmican, oil, lamps, and the sleds from where you produce them. And what I suggest is that, you produce them probably on King's Island or one of the other big ones like this one, right? Using some of the stamps that I already showed you in the previous episode, right? If you have, for example, this Husky layout like this, right? This is going to be enough for a lot. So yes, with this, you have the perfect stamps to get the maximum gas production. And you can even have one island that's already perfectly done. If you just want a bit of gas, this one is ready for you to go. As always, to get them that's easy, you go in the video description below to find the link to my Discord community. It's free to join. If you don't know Discord, don't worry, it is nothing nefarious. You join and you will find a channel that is called Anno Stamps, and there you will have a card that I will call, gas mines in the Arctic, and you can download all of those stamps. And as I said at the beginning of the episode, also don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to see this playlist that has stamps for everything. Thank you for watching. Smash the like button because it does take quite a bit of time for me to create all of those stamps, and I hope to see you next time.